Okay, if you're a fan of tropical flavors, then you are going to absolutely love today's pineapple coconut cake recipe. It's made up of moist pineapple and coconut cake layers, a luscious pineapple filling, and it's all topped with a creamy, not too sweet coconut cream cheese frosting. It is a tropical lover's dream. So to start off, you want to preheat your oven to 350F or 180C and grease two 8-inch cake tins. I'm using my homemade cake release to grease my tins. And then I'm also lining the bottoms of the pans with parchment paper because the little coconut pieces in the cake batter can sometimes stick to the bottom of the pans. Set your cake tins aside for now, and next in a medium-sized bowl, we're going to sift together our dry ingredients. So I've got 280 grams or 2 1/4 cups of plain all-purpose flour, 30 grams or 1/4 cup of cornstarch, 1 tablespoon of baking powder, and half a teaspoon of salt. And then using a whisk, give that a good mix until it's well combined and set it aside for now. Next, in a large bowl, you want to add in 113 grams or half a cup of room temperature unsalted butter, 66 grams or 5 tablespoons of unflavoured vegetable oil, I use canola oil, and 332 grams or 1 2/3 of a cup of white granulated sugar. And then using a hand or stand mixer on a medium speed, you want to cream that together for 2 minutes until it's light and creamy. Next, you want to add in 3 large room temperature eggs one at a time, mixing well in between each addition, so about 10 to 15 seconds in between each egg. Okay, once that's done, you want to add in 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla, 1 teaspoon of coconut essence or extract, and 226 grams or 1 cup of canned crushed pineapple, and then just give that a good mix until it's well combined. Now you just want to get any of the batter off of the attachments because the rest of the mixing we're going to be doing by hand. So first add in half of your pre-sifted dry ingredients from earlier, and using a spatula gently fold until just combined. Be careful not to overmix. Next, add in 165 grams or 3/4 of a cup of canned coconut milk, and again gently fold until just combined, and then add in the remaining dry ingredients and again gently fold until just combined. You really want to be careful not to overmix the batter. Now to finish off the batter, we're going to add in 80 grams or 1 cup of unsweetened shredded coconut and fold that in until just combined. Again, you don't want to overmix. So that is our batter all done. It has the most wonderful coconut smell coming through, and now you just want to evenly distribute this into our 2 pre-prepared cake tins. I like to weigh my cake tins just to make sure that I have an even amount in each cake tin, and then I level out the tops and drop the cake tins lightly on the counter once to remove any large air bubbles. And now these are going to go into the oven for 35 to 38 minutes, or until a toothpick inserted into the center comes out clean or with a few moist crumbs on it. So my cakes are out of the oven now. They smell so incredible. They've been cooling in the cake tins for about 20 minutes just to give them a little bit of time to firm up. And now I'm just running a thin knife along the edges to release the cakes from the cake tins and turning them out onto a wire rack to completely cool. These cake layers are honestly so incredibly soft. You guys are gonna love this cake. Now while these cakes are cooling, we're going to go ahead and make our pineapple filling and coconut cream cheese frosting. So first we're going to start off with the pineapple filling because it needs a bit of time to cool. So to a saucepan, add in 226 grams or 1 cup of canned crushed pineapple, 50 grams or 1/4 cup of white granulated sugar, 30 grams or 1/4 cup of cornstarch, 180 grams or 3/4 of a cup of whole milk, and 18 grams or 1 1/4 tablespoons of freshly squeezed lemon juice. Give that a good mix and then place the saucepan over a medium heat and continuously mix until the mixture becomes thick in consistency. It may look like the filling is slightly curdling as it's heating up, but don't worry, it will come together once the cornstarch is activated. Now once it's thick like this, you want to take it off the heat immediately and add in 56 grams or 1/4 cup of cold unsalted butter that's been cut into small cubes. And the last step, which is optional, is to add in a small drop of yellow gel food coloring just to brighten up the filling a bit. And now you just want to stir until the butter is completely melted and the filling is nice and smooth. Now once that's done, you want to transfer the filling to a heat-proof bowl and cover the top with some cling wrap so that the cling wrap is touching the top of the filling, and this is just going to prevent a skin from forming as it cools. And now you just want to set this aside. Next, we're going to make our super delicious coconut cream cheese frosting. So to a large bowl, add in 225 grams or 1 cup of room temperature unsalted butter, and using a hand or stand mixer on a medium speed, you want to mix that for a few minutes until it's light and fluffy. Next, you want to add in 360 grams or 3 cups of powdered sugar in 3 batches, making sure that each batch is mixed in well before adding in the next. Now to finish off, add in 335 grams or 1.5 cups of cold cream cheese. You want to use a firm cream cheese, not the spreadable type, along with 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla and 1 teaspoon of coconut extract or essence. And then just mix that all together until it's well combined. Try not to overmix though, so just mix until the frosting is nice and smooth, because the more you mix, the softer your frosting is going to become. And then that is our beautiful coconut cream cheese frosting all done. So my cake layers and pineapple filling are completely cool now, so we can start stacking this cake. So I'm starting off by trimming off the tops of my cake layers using a serrated knife so that they're nice and flat. Next, I'm placing my first cake layer onto my cake stand and spreading out a generous amount of frosting on top using my offset spatula. I'm then placing some of my frosting into a piping bag with a 1M piping tip on it, and I'm going to pipe a double border around the edges of the cake. This is going to act as a barrier which will stop our pineapple filling from seeping out the edges of the cake. Next, I'm going to place half of the pineapple filling in the center of the cake and evenly spread it out. Once that's done, my next cake layer goes on top, and then I'm spreading out more of the coconut cream cheese frosting on the top and sides of the cake. I then like to go in with my cake scraper to smooth out the edges, and then I also use my offset spatula to bring that top lip of frosting into the middle of the cake so that I have some nice sharp edges. Now next, I'm going to pipe a border around the top edge of my cake using the same 1M piping tip that I used earlier. And again, this is going to act as a barrier which our remaining pineapple filling is going to sit inside of. Now to finish off, I've got 120 grams or 1.5 cups of unsweetened shredded coconut here, and I'm going to stick that on the sides of my cake. This just adds great texture to the cake. And then that is my gorgeous pineapple coconut cake all done. This pineapple coconut cake is so incredibly soft and moist. It has great coconut and pineapple flavor, and the coconut cream cheese frosting adds a luxurious creamy element that just brings the whole cake together. It is so good. The cake layers are so incredibly fluffy, and that pineapple filling and coconut cream cheese frosting all just work together so well. The pineapple filling adds, nice little kind of pops of pineapple in every bite, and that coconut cream cheese frosting just adds like such a nice coconut creamy texture to this cake. If you're a fan of tropical flavors, then you absolutely have to give this pineapple coconut cake a go. So that is it for today, guys. If you do decide to give this recipe a go and you love it just as much as I do, then please do leave a review on my blog. It really helps my content out and I absolutely love hearing from you guys. I'll see you in the next video.